So I am joined today by the infamous Tom Scholey, who is going to set up a match on Hot Fishin with me. And the reason I want to do this, I think it's good to have a real angler, a real organizer go through the process, because he's going to have the kind of questions that everybody has when they're using this. I like to think it's been made as simple as possible to use, but it's like anything, it's easier if someone shows you the first time. So Tom and I are going to go through this now. I've told him to no holds barred, tell me things he likes, tell me things he doesn't understand, because I'm hoping he's going to answer the questions on anyone else's mind. So are you ready for that, Tom?
I think so, John. Yeah, it looks great from here as we've come in, nice and simple layout. So what do we do to set a match up?
Brilliant, cool. So yeah, let's set up a match. So if you click onto, so if you first logged in, this is what you're going to see. So if you click matches. Add new match. So you've got a nice big button to do that. So you'll see the first thing you're prompted to do is add a venue for the match. So if you go in there and just start typing, just pick Monk Hall, any venue.
Let's go to Hallcroft then. Hallcroft Fishery. There we are.
So what you can see here is any organizer that's used Hot Fishin and added a venue, they're all appearing here. So when you first start search for it. If it's not there, you would have seen there was a button called Add New Venue, so you can always add more. So if you click into Waters now, if the match is across multiple waters, you can select them here.
Okay, so I mean, obviously, I'm going to put Moat Pool in just to play devil's advocate, because that's another lake that's there. So this is Moat Pool.
So because you suggested to do that, what that is going to do is ping a message to the organizer who added that, and they're going to get pinged to say, do you want to add this extra water on here? So it's not going to appear straight away, but we have added the option here because what was happening is people were adding venues and just adding the waters of their match and not everyone else's. And then when you tried to use it, they weren't there. So we've added that option that will ping the person that added it to add it. So if you click request.
You want to put the pegs in or not? We don't need to do that yet.
You don't need to do that. That they can do that when they look at it. That's going to go through to.
I need to select at least one fish type. It's telling me, so it's coarse on there. Good.
Cool. So let's pick Bridge and Croft for the sake of this example.
Yeah.
And then click select.
Okay.
So give your match a name.
Where does that go, mate? At the top there?
The pink one that says match name.
Yeah. Got it. So this is going to be Winter League. Yeah.
Cool. Now, for the sake of the demo, we don't need to go through all these details, but you can see you can add a description, a meeting point, you can change your weight, the fish type. And where this is useful is where any organizer that adds a match, you can share the details of that upcoming match with your anglers that are already in the match so they can know where it is. But also there's a search function, so people can search for matches from around the country who may not know about your open or club matches, go through and learn a bit more detail about it. So it's a way of promoting matches to the wider community as well as the people that are in your match.
I think that's really good. And, you know, one thing I do really like conceptually about Hot Fishin and, you know, apps like this and websites like this that are trying to bring us into the 21st century is making fishing more accessible. So the more information you can get in there is good, isn't it, for your newcomer, because they can read about things. But I suppose, as you say, that top level, where the things that people are seeing day to day needs to be simple. So that makes sense.
Exactly. Great. And I'm going to show you how this looks in a minute. So if you just scroll down, like I say, we don't need to worry about all these details. If you change the date, if you just change the date till yesterday, just so it's going to be easier for us to add the results, but obviously you'd set this in the future. If you set your start time and your finish time, you can see you can set the draw time as well. That's because within the search functionality, we've added the ability that you want to search for open matches up the north with a draw time after 9 o'clock or whatever it is.
I see. So you can actually use this if you want to find a match.
Exactly. So I'll show you that on the next step. So if you click save, as easy as that, we've created the match. That's now going to appear on the search functions. You can share it. So let's score that match, and then I'm going to show you some of the search functionality as well that people can use. So if you just click back to the home page, the top left click button.
That one?
Yep. So we're going to click back into that. So you've created that match, you've gone away, you've come back, and it's the day of the match, and you log in, and it's going to look like this. So now you would click matches again. And you can see on that first tab, because we've created a match, it's appearing on the results entry. So any of your future matches will appear there. So if you click into the match, you'll see the first thing you're prompted to do is add your anglers to that match. So if you click select competing anglers, so any angler that's been added by any organizer across a country appears in this list. So when you've added your anglers, you can see if you just tap any anglers now.
Right, well, I've got a list of anglers who I've sort of made for this match. I can have them.
So let's tap a couple here, and then we can put a few of those in. So if you just tap the names, you can see how easy that would be to add them in.
Let's get Cowboy Paul on it. He sounds a great guy. Alan Good and Cowboy Paul. There we are.
And if you can just search for Doug Robinson and add him, because he's filled out his account, and I want to show you what his profile page looks like as well.
Robertson, there he is.
Robin.
That one?
No, Robinson, I think.
Doug Robinson.
There he is.
Ah.
If you click select.
He's on.
There you go. So you can see once you've added your anglers, you can just tap their names and add them in. So you say you've got a list with you.
I have.
So what you can also do is, if you've got a list of anglers on a spreadsheet or an email or something somewhere, if you click that import angler list.
Well, that's a good one. Because I was just thinking it might take ages to type them all in. So
what you can do is, you don't have to do this now for the sake of the demo if you don't want, but you would just literally paste them in there.
Let's try it. And that's that. And then we're back to that. And we just paste them into here, yeah?
Yep. Give that a second. And boom, it's going to put. So you tap the. So
that's brilliant. That's really good because that's one thing that has annoyed me in the past with. And again, I'm sorry, John. I don't mean to group all apps together because I can see this one's quite different. But I have messed about with different apps in the past, and what has annoyed me is the time it takes to input data like that. So that's really fast, really good.
Right. So what you would do is if you tap, like Adam is saying, just tap one of the names in grey. He's saying, there's no one in here, so tap it. See the one in pink?
Yeah.
What that's saying is, I think this person's already in here, so do you want to check before you add them twice? So if you click that. So what it's saying is that person's in here, and underneath it's showing you the organizer that added them.
Yeah.
So just pick one of those maybe. And then click set. And you see it's not, and then it's not going to add them again. But click cancel on this. But all you would do is click import anglers, and it would add them all in. Click anglers because I want to show you how to do some of the other bits. But
click cancel.
Yeah. But yeah, look, that feedback I got from a lot of people, it was a pain in the arse adding individual anglers, and especially when you've already got them listed somewhere. So once you've imported all those once, you can then just click competing anglers on the day of the match, go through and start tapping the names of the anglers. So it's good for the clubs, and it's good for the fisheries for big open matches as well.
That makes sense.
Okay, so if you scroll across now to we've added the anglers. So if you scroll across now to the pegs on water, here you can see you might just have a particular peg range. So there might be 108 pegs on the water, but you might only have pegs 1 to 40 or whatever it is there.
Well, it's by accident, actually. I didn't but just thinking about it, this is going to raise a question, John. And this is something I've come up against on apps in the past. Hopefully you'll have a solution. So Bridge Pool at Hawcroft, for example. There's Bridge Outer, which is pegs 1 to 55, say. Mm-hmm. There's Bridge Island, which is pegs 1 to 24. Mm-hmm. Is there a way of facilitating that in the same match? Because in the past I've tried to do that in a few venues with multiple peg sets on the same lake, and it's struggled to do it. Would it just be a case of adding Bridge Island as one and Bridge Outer as another separate venue, or
correct? So you add them as two separate waters, and then you can change the peg range to whatever you want. So let's say you've got Bridge 1. So if you just change peg range, right now it's whoever added this venue added it as pegs 1 to 108, but let's say you only want to go from pegs, just go and start to move around peg 1
All right. So if we go one, we'll just put Bridget out to this would be, so it'd be 1 to 55.
Exactly. So you can see you can change it to whatever peg range you want. So we're going to go one step further. Let's say you actually want to exclude some pegs from your match. A couple of pegs of duds or whatever. You see where it says bridge valid pegs underneath?
Yep.
So if you click into that, that's showing you all the pegs are selected right now. And if you tap some of them.
Right, just to be clear, you say duds. Would this mean pegs that you're leaving out of your match?
Exactly.
Often we go peg miss one. So say, for example, we might put peg 1 in, peg 4.
So they're all selected when they're black. And when you tap in it, you're deselecting it from the draw.
I like it. Yeah.
So, and this is good. So I'm going to show you a couple of ways in which you score the match in a minute. So if you just click save.
Right. So we're putting them pegs in. So we're putting, there's only about 6 on the match. So 1, 2, 3.
Exactly. You can get the concept of how it works.
10 pegs in there.
Yeah. So if you scroll down to the bottom and click save.
Hold on, I only one of them put pegs 1 to 30 in, don't I? Yeah. Right. That makes sense. So yeah, what about Croft Pool? We're not putting any pegs on Croft.
Don't worry about that one.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
So I've been working with organisers all the time. Anything that you said is a pain in the arse, like I'm hearing, and I'm thinking, okay, like, how can we go and fix this? I'm constantly working on this to say, okay, what are the problems organisers have got? So if you click allocate waters, sections and pegs. So there are a couple of ways in which you can do this. If people are drawing out of a bag or however, you can manually do them one at a time here, or you can use the auto peg draw. I'll show you both ways of how to do it. The auto peg draw was created because during lockdown, people were having to socially distance. So I created it to do that. But some organisers still like to use it. So let me show you both ways. So let's say you were going to do the anglers, and I'm going to show you another even quicker way by doing this on a spreadsheet, but let me show you how to do it through the interface first. So let's say Alan comes up first. So if you click Alan, let's say he drew on bridge. So you tap bridge, and he drew section A, peg 1. And you're doing this on your computer now, so it's a bit more clunky. The interface is created that it's quicker to use on your mobile phone, which was why it's got these scrollers. If you're actually going to do it on your laptop or your computer before or after the match, you'll use the bulk spreadsheet tool, which I'm going to show you in a minute. So we've kind of created horses for courses, depending on how you're doing it.
So where's this section idea come from? Because at no point have I inputted any sections.
So you can you can change the sections to whatever you want.
Right. So would I do that after this?
Yeah, you can do it before. So you just put section A. So you might say pegs 1 to 4, section A. Pegs.
Okay, that's really good to have. So right, let's do that then. So
you've just done that. So you've put it in section A.
Right. Okay. So Alan Goods. So if I wanted his peg to be in section B, I'd do that.
Exactly.
Yeah, that makes sense. Lovely.
Okay. So let's say we want to do the auto peg draw feature. So if you just scroll up, we've only got a couple of anglers, but you'll get the concept. So if you click the auto peg draw feature, what you see you can do here, you can choose your section sizes.
Yeah.
So again, we've only got 3 anglers, so it doesn't matter. You see it's giving you the option here again if you want to exclude any pegs from that draw. So you can click in again and kind of exclude those peg ranges.
Yeah.
Can you see that? And if you just scroll down.
That one.
Yeah, so if you click that, you can see it's showing you what pegs are going to be in the draw, because you might not want some of them.
That makes sense.
And then you click suggest positions, and then use these positions. And then it would put all your anglers in section size you wanted and how you want to do it. Now, like I say, I created this during lockdown, but a lot of the organisers, the feedback I got was they were doing the draw the night before, and if people got a shit peg, they weren't turning up.
Yeah.
So I know a lot of the organisers like this because they can do it on the day of the match. It takes a little bit of the magic of the draw away, but if speed is of the essence, so it's there if you want it. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of an option.
That makes sense.
Cool. Okay, so click save. So we've done the draw. Everyone's gone and had a good day's fishing. We now need to weigh them in. So you would click on the weigh in tab. So you can see in the left, in the red, it's put the anglers in peg order and it shows you the water they're on. So as you're walking around, you get to each angler and you can input them in. So let's just input one here, and then I'm going to show you the bulk feature. So let's say we get to Doug.
Yeah.
So he did a full day. Let's put him in net 1 weight.
He's going to have 14 pounds.
You click set.
Okay. And then you put the ounces in separately, I see. 13. And then he's going to have another net, which is his carp net, and he's going to have 71 pound 12. That's really good. Really simple, really straightforward. Now, here's a question for you then.
You can see it's going to add.
I was just going to say, does it add it up? Yeah.
It's going to total those up for you. So you would obviously go through now all your anglers and doing that. Now,
that's really good because, you know, one thing I always think makes match fishing look less professional is we add up all these multiple weights on some venues, and some venues down, you know, you're looking at 8 and 9 nets, aren't you? So the fact that that totals add up for you, that in itself is a great feature.
Yeah. And what I'm trying to do, that's a good point. For me, for any organizer, this is about scoring a match and making life easier. Get it? My bigger mission of what I'm trying to do with this is raise the profile of match fishing. And I've always said that I really think it can follow in the footsteps of the likes of darts and snooker and stuff. It just needs a bit of polish around it. It needs some infrastructure. It makes it a bit more accessible for Joe Public. And if you see these scribbles and scrawls that are stuck up on social media, like, it doesn't make sense to people. And I think just having it this way and structured at nice, at least is going to make it a bit more accessible, as well as making your club or fishery look a bit more professional.
Absolutely.
Okay, so let's say you are going to score the match when you get home. But a lot of people prefer to do that. They'd rather do it on paper on the day, then get home and just, when they're sitting with a cup of tea, enter results. If you're going to do it that way, the bulk feature is a lot quicker. So if you click that tab that says bulk and offline entry,
yep,
and click export weigh-ins, this is just going to take a second to process. So basically anything that's added at the moment, it's going to put onto the spreadsheet and export. If you didn't add anything, if you added no anglers or any pegs at the moment, it would then export it blank and you can enter everything on that spreadsheet.
Yes.
So if you click open weighing sheet.
Oh yeah, I see.
You can see here you've got it in spreadsheet format and you can just drag and drop. So if you enter the weights for Allen and Cowboy, so you don't need to use that. You can just tap into the cell. Yeah, you don't need to use the drop down.
I'm just looking here. Obviously, Doug had 81 pound, didn't it? It's only showing 14.13. Is that?
Oh, it's because you added multiple nets. When we did the export,
yeah,
it said how many pegs, how many nets. If you go back to Hot Fishin,
yeah,
it says how many nets do you want to put, because you've only done one net, it's on the export.
Oh,
the top
right,
net.
I see.
For the sake of the example, that's not.
Okay.
If you go back to the spreadsheet.
Import both nets. Right.
So if you go to the spreadsheet first, it's in a tab at the top.
Yeah.
So if you enter the weights of the other anglers.
Right.
So yeah, so that's all that happened there. You see, it gives you the option of how many nets you want, because if you've already totaled the nets up on your scribbles of paper, then you can just add them in one line. Whereas if you kind of don't trust your numbers and you'd still rather, even on the spreadsheet when you get home, add the individual net weights, you can do it that way. So just be aware that when you export it, you need to make sure the net numbers are right.
That makes sense.
Cool. And you can go in here, you can change the sections and the pegs, you can change whatever you want on here. So let's say you go through it and you can see how much quicker that would be if you were scoring a big match as well. You can just tap them in really, really quick.
Well, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I do like the fact that you can add up your nets on the interface, though. I mean, I think that's an appealing thing in itself. You know, so really day-to-day for using it, would it not be quicker to do it in the actual interface itself?
100%. You get people to do that. And like the reality is a lot of people would rather do it when they get home. So if that's the case, I just want to give everybody, depending on how you want to do it, this is how you do it. So
I think the problem is, mate, and it's something I've come across myself, and from my own experience, I'm the same. It takes people a leap of faith to trust an electronic weigh system.
100%.
So for me, on my events, even when I've used systems like this, I've always done it on paper as well. So you always want the paper backup, because you can trust that, because it's what we've done for the last God knows how many years. So that might be why. Yeah.
And I don't tell people to just use this. I say someone do it on paper still for that exact reason. Someone following them around, everyone's tapping on their phones anyway. Someone around, tap these in at the same time, and if you're happy at the end, you can just click a button and it'll refresh and it'll publish the results to everybody. So I think it's just as easy to do them in parallel. And you're right, once people have got the confidence in it, you can go straight to this, but always do both for a little while. Like the thing I always say is, for the first couple of times, just get your results and just do a test match. Like just update the results from a match in, just to get comfortable with it.
Definitely.
Cool. So if you go back to the Hot Fishin page, so you don't need to save or do anything to this. You would just scroll down and just click import weigh-ins. Again, just give that a minute to process that. You can see you didn't have to save anything. It's saying, right, are you happy with these?
Yeah.
Say, yeah, import weights. And now if you click the weigh-in tab again.
That one.
Yep. It's kind of overridden anything you put in there, but you can see it's imported those weights with what you've done.
Got you.
A nice little feature here, let's say you had a load of anglers in there, you can see it's sorted by pegs. If you want to sense check it as an organizer, if you click sort by weights, it'll tap them into weight order. So you can just check it before you make it public.
Yeah, yeah. Now, that's really good, because something that's really miffed me off in the past about this sort of thing is when apps or things show weights in order of place. I mean, the way as match anglers that we're used to looking at things is obviously peg by peg, because I want to see how a river or a lake is fished in order as you go around. So the fact that you can sort by pegs and show it in that conventional way that we're all used to looking at is really good. A lot of these mechanized apps and things in the past, they only do it in rank order, which messes up your understanding of the venue, because you can't then see, well, that area was hard, that area was good. You just see everybody who's done well at the top and everybody who went at the bottom,
Exactly. Which is why I give you the option. Do you know what I mean? Like fishing matches are as unique as fingerprints, I've learned. Like you just need to give everybody the option to do it however they want. Like it's just let them get on with it.
Definitely.
Okay, so you've done it, you're happy with the results. So now if you scroll across to the tab next to bulk and offline entry, the published results.
Yeah.
Now we're going to make this public. So you can see you've got two options here, publish latest and finalize. So latest basically means it's like football results. So if you publish latest, if there's a mistake or a problem or someone moans about something, you can still go in and change it. Then I always say, leave it unpublished for a couple of days, let everyone see it. Once everyone's happy, you finalize it and you draw a line under it and it's done. So if you click publish results and view results,
got you.
That's a nice now public facing results page, which is branded to your organization.
Love it.
And if you had multiple waters and sections, you'd have different tabs for each of those different things. So depending on however you set up your match, it will automatically split out everything for you. If it was a league, it would add it as the net. So you'd have one link for your league, and then every time you add a match to that league, it would just kind of add them next to it. So it just keeps it all on one place.
Got you. I like it.
So a nice thing as well, while I've got you here, is to show you what's good for the anglers as well. Like I say, I'm trying to raise the profile of the sport, and anglers are at the center of that. So as well as the organizers getting this, any angler that's on here gets their own free mini website as well. So if you're an angler, if you're an organizer and you add your anglers, they don't need to do anything. They don't need to create accounts or whatever. You're using it for you as the organizer, and no details are shared of those anglers other than their names, like you would share anyway. Let's say you're an angler and you start seeing these hot fishing results all over the place. Like, this is pretty good, this is. I'd like to get a bit more involved. You can search for your name and claim that account. And then once you do that, you can make your own little mini website. So you can see Doug. If you click Doug's name, you can see everybody's name's a link. So you can see Doug has claimed his account on here. So once you claim your account, you can add profile images, you can add a sponsor, any contact details, and you can see Doug's got a tab for scheduled matches. So if you click that, so any of his future matches, whenever he's added, will appear in there. So you can see he's got a grid view. You can click and change that to a list view as well.
Brilliant.
You can see there's another tab called match results as well. So any of his matches that he's been entered into, he can see all these results. So if you click list, you scroll to the top, mate, and click list view, it's a bit easier to see. So you can see that. Results, can you? So again, you can see his results. And again, any organizer that now adds Doug to any match will appear here. So we can see his results from Lindholm, from Partridge, from Kingfisher. They all pull through to the same account.
And as an angler, I see. So that's great. So that's that match I've just looked at. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was it. Yeah. That was the match that Doug is in, and you can click through and see all the details of that match.
That's superb.
What they also get to...
Really quickly, John, if you were on the dole and you were fishing midweek and you didn't want everyone to know where you were going and what you were up to, can you hide your data?
Exactly. So the organizer can hide that, or the angler can hide it themselves. So when you log in, there's an option called blur angler name. So if you did that, it would just show, you would still appear in there, like your weight would appear in there, but your name would be blurred. The only person that would see your name is the organizer. So you as the, like, let's say you've got someone who's not very technical, who's in a match, who wouldn't know how to claim their account, says, can you blur me out of it? You as the organizer can blur them out of it. Or if you're an angler and you claim your account, you can go in and say, I want to be blurred from all matches anyway. So this whole thing's been built to give the anglers full control. So here, Doug has chose to show his scheduled matches and match results. You can turn that off. So when you can say, right, I just want to use this for my own personal use. I don't want anyone to see my match results because I tell everyone I'm better than I am. So you can hide those as well. So it's fully customizable to give the angler the control.
That's really good, mate. And I love this sponsors section as well. You know, that gives you the opportunity, obviously, to customize it and give credit to people who back you, doesn't it? Very good.
Right. So I just want to show you one more thing. So if you click back to Hot Fishin, I think it's the other tab, mate. You've got it, the top left tab.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you click back on there, so whenever you log in, whether you're an organizer or an angler, you can see those white buttons at the bottom, which is the take a look around. And these features are on every single match results page as well. So UK scheduled matches, if you click that, this is going to show you anyone that's using Hot Fishin, all the matches that are coming up around the country. So this is only going to be as good as the amount of organisers using it. So right now you can see these are all the upcoming matches from around the country that are using it. But you can imagine once we can get all the organisers doing this, you can have a really good search and find your matches.
Real, so you'll be able to go to say for example, I wanted to get on this open match here on the 16th on Sunday.
Yep, so if you click that, because this is an upcoming match, it obviously doesn't have the results, but it shows you the details of the upcoming match, like where it is, what pools it's on, the contact details of the organizer. And this is a nice tip. There's another feature as well we've added, that if as the organizer you've added anglers to an upcoming match, it will appear as a tab on there as well. When you update the pegs of those anglers, let's say you do the draw the night before, it will update that as well. So you can actually just send that link to all your anglers to say this is your pegs.
I love it. I see. Right. It's really good. I love, what I really like about it is the fact that it has a feel almost of, you know, when you play like FIFA at school, you can get player profiles, all that sort of thing. It's got that feel to it, hasn't it, that you sort of...
Exactly what I've been trying to do with it. Like, I want to put the anglers at the front of the sport. That's how... I've done a lot of studying how darts got so big. And one of the big things they did was create some structure around it. And the second was put the anglers at the front of the sport.
So let me ask you what this is then, John, this nationwide tournament, because I know this is sort of a big ambition of yours? How's this sort of shaping up?
So what we do is every match that's scored on Hot Fishin, at the end of the week, we put all those anglers into one big results table. And this is just for a bit of fun right now. So this is, you can see the nationwide top anglers, and we sort these by the angler with the heaviest weight per hour for the sake of just for a bit of fun now. And you see, you can scroll through, you can see the anglers, you can click through and see the organizer, the net weight, the match. So it's a nice little way of seeing what's going on. If you've got an upcoming match, it's good to, and you know your peg, you can do a bit of research in what's going on. But this is my ambition, to eventually turn this into a big competition. So you'll be able to actually have bets on yourself weekly of kind of where you think you're going to do, and do that regionally.
Brilliant. Really, really. I think it's by far and away the most advanced structure I've seen for anything to do with scoring. And the thing I love about it is I see its scalability. It's not just a clunky app for scoring the odd club match. This is something that could actually be used to make the whole of match fishing more professional. It's a really, really good structure. Really like it.
100%. And if you click back to the nationwide, like the thing I'm really excited for this is we've already got the stats of all the anglers. Like, I want to introduce Kamazan points on steroids. Do you know what I mean? We've got advanced statistics on all the anglers now. We can have some real fun, give out lots of prizes, really make this something that everyone gets behind, is excited to see where they've done and how they've scored. So there are, right now it's totally free for everybody to use to score their matches, but we're going to be introducing our own competitions, like using the results from your existing matches that I think are going to really elevate the sport and just add something fun and new to it.
Absolutely brilliant. One question. So obviously we've looked at this today, doing a screen recording on a desktop Mac. I know from my experience, 90% of people who use the internet or anglers do so on mobile.
I'd say 99%, like it's everyone.
Yeah. Is this as accessible and compatible on mobile on the website, or is there an app planned?
Yeah, so this has been built mobile first, you call it. And this has been built to, where you've probably found it a bit difficult doing it on your desktop is because it's much easier to do on your laptop. So this is absolutely built for the mobile world in which we're working in. And the app is coming live in the next couple of months, but I mean, the app will be identical to the mobile experience you get on your site. So yes, the app is coming. It will be an identical experience to what you get on here.
That's absolutely brilliant.
Thank you, Tom. It's been really good to get your feedback on this. Someone I kind of respect as an angler and an organizer, and see that you're it makes sense to you. That means a lot.
Absolutely. No, really, really impressive stuff, John, and thanks again.
Brilliant. Thanks, Tom.
Thank you.